The Barbie movie captivated audiences everywhere, and the song that truly captured the essence of that movie was this beautiful track by Billie Eilish. I'm Josh, and in today's video, I'll be teaching you how to play What Was I Made For on the piano. Let's go. Alright, so there it is. That's What Was I Made For by Billie Eilish. Now we'll be breaking it down step by step, and as you saw there, it's really just going to be one main chord progression throughout most of the song with some minor variations here and there. So let's dive in and take a closer look at how to play this song now. Alright, so this song is in the key of C major, so we are going to have no sharps or flats. It's going to be all white keys. Nice and easy. So let's start here with this main chord progression, and we're going to start right from the intro. These are the three main chords we're going to use. We're going to start with a C major chord. So I'm going to play a C in the left hand and then a G, C, and E in the right hand. Okay? That's going to be our first chord. Next, we're going to go to an E minor chord. So I'll play E now in the left hand, keep the G and the E in the right hand, and now we're going to play the B here. So you're just moving down from the C to the B. Okay? E minor chord. And lastly, we're going to go to an F major chord, and this is an F major 7 actually. We play F in the left hand, A, C, and then the E on top is going to be our major 7th, okay? So, all those chords, hopefully not too hard, just changing the root note here in the left hand and then some minor changes in the right hand, okay? So again, reviewing those, we have C major, E minor, and F major 7, okay? Now let's begin to take a look at how we're going to play these in time. So we're going to start here with our C major chord, and we're going to give it 2 beats here. So I'm just going to play 1, 2, repeating that chord in the right hand on each beat, okay? 1, 2, then we're going to go 3, 4 on our E minor chord. This one's also just getting 2 beats. 3, 4, and then our F major 7 chord, we're actually going to give it 4 beats, but I'm just going to play on beat 1. I'm not going to repeat any of those beats here in the right hand, okay? So we're just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? All those chords now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. And that's really the basis for this whole song. If you can just play that, you can really play with almost the entire thing and it's gonna sound good. So now let's add in one little thing that's gonna make this piano part sound a lot more like the original, and that's gonna be adding in a note here with our thumb here right before we change chords every time. So instead of actually playing the full C major chord, I'm just gonna play the C and the E here on those beats 1 and 2. 1, 2, and, okay? So we'll play that on the and of beat 2. 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that, okay? That way, instead of just playing one big block chord, we're breaking it up and we're making the sound just a little bit more interesting there. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. And that's pretty much the intro. Hey, I hope that this tutorial has been helpful for you so far. If it is and you'd like to support me, there's a few really easy things you can do. Just drop a like, leave a comment down below, and hit subscribe so that you can see all of my videos. Anyways, let's get back to the tutorial. Let's move now into the verse, and the verse is going to sound very similar to the intro, and we're just going to play this same chord progression that we just learned, and we're going to play it 3 times here at the start, okay? And this is when she's singing do 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 do, just that part, right? And that'll sound like this. So we play that 3 times, and on the 4th time we'll play this. All right, now that sounds very similar. The only difference there is instead of going to our C major chord, we're gonna start here with an A minor chord, okay? So that's just A in the left hand, and then an A, C, and E. Again, very similar hand shape here in the right hand, just slightly different, playing that A now, okay? So we'll just go A, E minor, and F, okay? A minor, that was. Okay, so all the verses, it's just gonna be that original chord progression 3 times, and then that modified chord progression with the A minor once. Now here in the verse is where I begin to like to mix up the sound even a bit more here. And one of those things you could do is instead of playing this E on top, you can play this G on top, and I showed that the 2nd time through the verse in the song preview at the beginning of this video. So for instance, that might sound like this. You hear it? So it's really just the same thing, but instead of playing this E on top, just play that G on top, and it just mixes up the sound a little bit, okay? Now, our 2nd time through the verse, we're gonna be ending there again with our A minor chord. Okay? And on this time, actually, we're gonna add in one little chord here that's gonna help transition us into this main chorus, okay? So, we played A minor for 2 beats, E minor for 2 beats, and then we're playing F, 2, and then we're gonna go back to an E minor actually, okay? So we're gonna give that F 2 beats, and then we're gonna give that E minor 2 beats, okay? So all 4 of these chords here are just getting 2 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And that's transitioning us down into our chorus because we're gonna walk down here, you'll see in the left hand, we're gonna walk down to a D minor chord. So that actually wraps up the verse, so now we can dive into that chorus right away. So like I mentioned, we're gonna start our chorus here on a D minor chord. So I'm gonna play D in the left hand and then A, D, and F here in the right hand. Okay, we're just gonna play that for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice and simple, just repeating that chord in the right hand. Next, we're gonna move up to a G7 chord. So G in the left hand, B, D, and F. F there is our 7th. So we call that a G7 chord. This also is gonna get 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And after those first 2 chords, the D minor and the G, we're gonna go back to our basic chord progression that we've been playing the entire time so far, right? Okay, just nice and simple like this. Okay, and this chord progression with the C, E minor, and F, we're gonna play this 4 times actually. So it's gonna be kind of similar to the verse, but we're gonna play it 4 times through. And then on the 5th time kind of playing that little chord progression, that's when we're gonna finally go to our A minor chord. Okay, I know that's a little confusing, so let me play through that once for you, starting on that D minor. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna back it up a little and just start with the end of the verse so you can see how that transitions into the chorus, and then I'll play through the chorus once, okay? So remember, at the end of the verse, we'll play our A minor chord and go from there. And now the chorus starts here. We're playing this chord progression 4 times. Okay, you can mix it up a little if you want to. That's 3, 1 more. And now we'll go to our A minor chord. Okay, and that wraps up the chorus, okay? So just a little tricky there with how many times you play each of those different chord progressions, but hopefully you take a listen to the song and play along with that, and that'll start to make a little bit more sense. The last thing that I want to show you here is just a couple little nice melodies you can add in the right hand that match the melody a little bit, and that just adds a little bit of movement and flair here. Just nice and easy. So the first one you hear there at the end of the chorus, this is going to kind of transition us back into our second verse now. It's just this simple melody, which you know you hear all the time in the verse, and that's just B, C, E, and G, okay? So I like to play that before going back into the chord progression. Okay, and the next one you can play D, E, F, G, just moving up like that. Okay, so those are just some little things you can add. Obviously, those are totally optional. You can really just focus on the chords if you want to, not play any melody. But just to spice it up, I like to add those in sometimes. As you progress further along into the song and kind of the second verse and the outro of the song, you're gonna hear some other things that are a little bit different, and pretty much anytime you hear that, that's gonna be those same chords that we used in the chorus, that D minor to G7 chord. Other than that, it's just gonna be our basic chord progression. So that is everything that you need to know to play What Was I Made For by Billie Eilish. If you wanna learn some more Billie Eilish songs on piano, check out the playlist that I have linked. I have a few other tutorials there, and let me know down in the comments if there's ones that are missing and you'd like to see a tutorial for. I'd be happy to consider those as well. Anyways, have an amazing rest of your day. See you next time.